What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So in today's video we need to talk specifically about the state of the game. I've been here for about a month now, I've been since returning, and here's some of the changes I think should come to the game. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to drop a like and sub. Here's today's YouTube comment shout out. Let's go ahead and get into it. Alrighty guys, so I decided to split this into little categories here. So we are going to start off with Showdown. So here's some changes I honestly would like to see in Showdown. So I know I've kind of glossed over these before, but this is just a more refresher, more updated video on that, where I go a little bit more into detail, and hopefully developers do watch the newer video that I put out, and maybe they'll take some notes off of it, I don't know. But anyways, we'll go ahead and get started. So basically, we need to start off with talking about how mobile and Steam are not crossplay at the moment. It's kind of stupid because not a lot of people play on Steam. I mean, you can even look here on the Steam charts I'm going to pop up on screen. It's kind of just ridiculous that we don't have like a lot of player base in general, due in part of the state of the game, but also on top of that, that we have the community split into two different sides of the community because of platforms and stuff like that. Now, mobile and Steam used to be crossplay back in the day, back when I was making those crazy videos that were getting a ton of views. My channel was doing really well at the time, like 50k views in a month. Your boy was popping off just a little bit compared to, you know, I had never popped off like that before on YouTube, so things were going like super well back then. But that was back when things were crossplay, and yes, the player charts were a lot higher up, so there were a lot more players on Steam, but for the most part it was because of the crossplay of keeping all the players together that a lot of people stayed on. The lobby stayed active even late into the night, so you know, it kept things very active. I just really think that it should be you know, re-enabled, and it should just stay in the game. Now I'm gonna list a few reasons why this can be bad, and some reasons why, you know, that shouldn't, you know, some of these issues shouldn't really matter in general, such as, you know, mobile players not being able to grind up into elite or something like that, or maybe they're having more difficulty because they're against higher level players, or players that are extremely good on like 300 FPS setups like myself or something like that, or other pros that play the game. But at the end of the day, I think activity would be a lot better. Plus, it would actually make mobile players better in the long run, since they're playing against better players. Therefore, there's going to be less of a skill gap. There's going to be a massive skill gap if you're just having mobile players who just walk around and don't build and do anything like that, just killing each other. There's just no skill required to it. And I know this game isn't really skill based. I know it's very it's not as pay to win as it used to be, but it still is very pay to win to a degree. At least compared to a lot of other games, it's still very pay to win. But compared to how it was back in early chapter 2 and early chapter 3, it was really pay to win, and very expensive at that. They have lowered down the prices since then, but I'm getting a little bit off topic here. So also we need to get into the next thing of Showdown. So removing bots or just reducing them at higher levels would honestly make it a really great you know, mode in general. And also calling it Battle Royale would be something a little bit better. That's something I didn't have on my notes, but just adding the name Battle Royale over it just sounds so much better. A lot more people will consider it since it's a Battle Royale game. I know there's a lot of kids that have, you know, kind of like a TikTok brain where they just still see Showdown and they'll be like, the hell is Showdown? Like, I'm not playing a game that has quote unquote Showdown. You should have Battle Royale as the name over it, just a suggestion. But I'm getting a little bit off track there. So the bots should not be in higher levels, and this is kind of leading back into what I was talking about before, making a crossplay, adding more players into the pool. It'll be a lot less likely that you should run into bots if you are in elite. I don't even care if it's just elite that doesn't have any bots. It should just have 0 bots in general. Now lower ranks, I do believe need bots, because obviously players need to be able to learn, to be able to grind a little bit, to get up into a little bit of like the middle ranks and be able to feel a little bit of accomplishment out of getting into those middle ranks, even though it is against mainly bots or something like that, and just a couple of players. It still would increase the activity of the game, I think, because even those lower level players will feel like they're able to do something. So that's definitely something that should be considered heading into, you know, the fact that it's a trophy mode and you're playing against bots. There's no other game that I really know of, at least, where they have bots and competitive. So, you know, maybe just make a pub game mode for Showdown or something like that, and then just have the bots, you know, kind of run things over there, and then have competitive be its own thing. And then again, re-enabling that crossplay, and that crossplay will allow more players to jump in, so you won't have the dead servers or anything like that. But anyways, heading into the final topic of Showdown. So map rotation should be based on times, not randomized. I know a lot of people would love to do challenges on certain maps, but the fact that you can't even choose a map in customs as to what you want to play on in general is kind of dumb, especially when it comes to just public in general. You should also be able to, you know, hop on at a certain time and see that, okay, this map is in rotation, I can make a video for this, for like content creators, something like that. Or for even custom modes, players who just want to play on a certain map can have that option to play on certain maps to practice or something like that for Showdown itself. So just kind of like a mini little suggestion there of a Showdown. Let's go ahead and head into our next topic. Alrighty, so heading into the next topic, Zone Wars needs to change. There's a lot of changes that I'm going to offer here and some ideas as well. So kind of getting into it, so allowing 16 player solos with additional team colors would be absolutely amazing. I understand that it might be a little laggy, especially, you know, when we run duos and stuff like that, but solos is a whole different ball game. Usually players are pushing a lot more in solos, since they're able to catch people more off guard. They're not as scared to push as in duos. So I don't really think the server life is going to be an issue, since players will be dying off earlier. You'll be having less players towards the end, so it'll help with that build density of later in the game when all those builds are already out and the lag is at its max. You know, that's just kind of how like the game would function a little bit better, at least for competitive, and it would provide more competitive avenues in general. I know the game doesn't really focus on competitive, but these are just ideas, guys, so just throwing that out there. I really think that there should be more team colors. It also provides better practice, and I know it's not related to Showdown, but it's still good to go against 15 other players when you usually do, especially in their main game mode of Showdown. It'll help, you know, help players with their building and increase their skill and stuff like that. But also going into the to the color changes, they at least need to bring back the former colors. So we used to have brown back in the day, and we had blue team as well. I don't know why blue team was recently removed. I don't think they ever said, and if they did, you know, somebody could let me know in the comments or something like that. But removing blue, I know that blue was hard to read, so maybe that's why. And maybe they're gonna add it back, but like a different type of blue, maybe like a navy blue or something like that, or something darker, easier to see in the light blue setting. But anyways, yeah, honestly guys, it's kind of dumb that they're just removing colors. I mean, even just adding brown and blue would increase the player count to at least 10 in solos. It would help out with competitive quite a bit. But like I said, I don't think these are things that are probably going to be added, but these are just ideas. So heading into the next thing now, adding more zone maps. Now, I'm not saying to make the zone maps look crazy or anything like that, but we should have more zone maps added. There should be different, you know, it's just the same map over and over again, and the zone moves the exact same points. People can just memorize where to go, and people can just memorize, you know, certain patterns and stuff like that. That's not very skilled. I guess in a way it is with rotations and stuff like that, and players can sometimes pick your spot. But at the end of the day, I think just making it more randomized with zones, or even just, you know, adding a different map, so every once in a while you can change it, and then adding the ability to play certain maps would honestly really mix things up. Especially for competitive, you could have like a few games on one map, a few games on this other map, and then a few games on that other map, like the third map or something like that. And then you can obviously change up the zones or something like that, or if it's randomized, then, you know, it could better, you know, the players themselves, since they had to adjust to the random modes, and or is it random zones, sorry, instead of just the same zone over and over again. And once again, I'm not asking you guys to add more details in the zones. There's already a lot of lag. It's just more of like different themings, adding more, you know, variety to Zone Wars and stuff like that. Now heading into the last topic here. So adding zone wars to trophy modes, I've always advocated for this. I've made multiple videos on this, and I've also made a suggestion as well in the Discord server. I don't think it ever got posted because I believe somebody else already posted it or something like that. Now I had heard that they were gonna make public zone wars a thing again, but this was months ago and we just haven't heard anything since. And I believe it was just rumors, so take it with a grain of salt. Even if they do add it at some point, I don't think that it was talked about way back then, considering the fact that they still haven't added it. A lot of things that they've openly talked about have been added to the game, even if it was for a short time and then they removed it. So definitely something to look out for though in case they do add it. But trophy modes should definitely be a part of zone wars if they do, release it back to the public zone, or even just public zone in general would be great. I'll just take public zone, honestly. At this point, I'll take that over anything. But making it a trophy mode would also increase activity and interest as well, honestly, in my own opinion. I'm gonna let you guys know why. So obviously players, they love playing zone. Being able to queue into zone would bring in more players that can't play and say like a Discord server or something like that, or say like a Discord server has been inactive for like a day or two, or all the servers have been inactive and there's nothing to play. Instead of just people logging off for the day, some of those people would stay online and grind those public modes, increasing the player count and keeping it more consistent even into late night. I know a lot of servers definitely don't like to post when it comes to late night times, so adding that feature would offer a feature for all those players that love to play at late times, and kind of just combining those queues where it comes back to the crossplay thing. Enabling the crossplay would help a lot with the activity for this as well, without actually really decreasing the activity of the overall game. So that's pretty much all my suggestions for zones. Let's go ahead and talk about the next thing. Alrighty guys, so into our next topic. This one's a little bit on the shorter side. I just wanted to squeeze this one into the middle because it kind of related back to the Showdown and Zone wars changes that I wanted added. So basically, adding leaderboards back into the game. Now they did have a leaderboard for the Star Hunt. I don't remember exactly which summer it was. I don't know if it was 2023 or 2022, but they did have a leaderboard for the Star Hunt challenge, and it did fairly well. A lot of people participated and stuff like that. Now for things that should be a part of the leaderboard, I don't think kills should be a part of it, honestly. You can add kills, which is just a little bit extra, so something you get out on there. But focusing on the win specifically would be something pretty big. And honestly, getting those cheaters and hackers to be more active in the game, trying to beat those leaderboards, will actually increase the chances of them getting exposed as well. I know that it'll definitely invite challenge with cheaters and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, if we can continue to get more and more cheaters banned, it's just better for the game in general. Even working on IP bans or something like that would be great, but that's a little off topic. So heading back into the leaderboards, refreshing the leaderboards should definitely be done at least seasonally or monthly. So having like a monthly leaderboard would be pretty high maintenance considering you have to reset it every time. But seasonally, having it for that season, you guys don't even technically need to have prizes to begin with. A lot of the prize honestly comes with boasting rights or something like that, so maybe even just trying it out for a season or two as is with just the leaderboards and no actual in-game cosmetics or anything like that, and then maybe testing it a little bit later on with adding some in-game cosmetics and other stuff like that. Could be something added later down the road if it does do well and there's not a bunch of cheaters taking over leaderboards and stuff like that. But that's pretty much gonna do it for the leaderboard section. Let's go ahead and get into the next section. Alrighty guys, so into the next one. So this one is a little bit more personal, but this is something that most definitely needs to be talked about, even if it does kind of go against my own gameplay itself. This is just something that's just been absolutely ridiculous for a long time, and I'm talking about aim assist. Aim assist, especially on controller, is just absolutely broken. It's so stupid. I get accused of cheating a lot in my videos and stuff like that. I'll try to find a comment or two, but I don't think I'll be able to. Of people saying that I cheat and stuff like that, and people saying, oh, I can see your aimbot, this and that. It's just the fact that aim assist is quite literally so broken that if you go up close to a wall you're actually just gonna find the fact that you are tracking someone through that wall just because you're close enough to them for the aim assist to lock on. So I think that's absolutely ridiculous. Should not really be a thing in general. Um, Aim assist should not be able to have that amount of strength in general to do that, or even when you walk past someone, even if you're not aiming in on them, your cursor just drags on them like heavily. This happens a lot to me in tournaments and stuff like that, because I'm just trying to walk past someone who spawned in my box, say like duos or something like that, where there's not enough spaces in zone. So there's someone in my box, I'm going to walk out and my cursor is just automatically turning left. I'm already at a disadvantage since that player is already getting ahead of me, and they start building and now I have to break out of their box and stuff like that. It's kind of ridiculous, but kind of going into the meat of it. So there's been a lot of great suggestions. I'm going to name drop Aries here. He dropped a really great suggestion in the Discord server for the official 1v1.lol. But basically, aim assist should most definitely be more focused on range more than the strength of it. So I know that adding, a aim assist at certain ranges can be pretty difficult, but just updating it in general and just nerfing the absolute hell out of the strength out of it would be absolutely amazing. I know that they toyed with it in the past and they nerfed it a little too much once in the past to where it literally felt like aim assist was non-existent at all. But back when the game was first out, the aim assist back then was really great because it was more distance focused rather than strength focused. So it actually, required a little bit of skill on your own end to learn on controller how to aim and stuff like that. I just think that it's really dragging down the skill level of the game. It's providing a pretty big skill gap, especially if one day you guys just randomly nerf the shit out of it. It's just going to bring a lot of issues for some of these players who are having issues with aiming in general, who don't choose to take the time to learn how to aim on controllers, especially on different games and stuff like that, where aim assist is not nearly as powerful. But in general, aim assist should just be nerfed for that exact reason. I just think it's pretty broken that you can like triple dink someone as they're falling out of the air, and it just straight up looks like hacks. It's just handing the players hacks without actually allowing them to have hacks in the game. So it's just ridiculous at this point, even for someone who's on controller on a higher FPS machine. It's just really, really broken sometimes, and sometimes I even question how I'm hitting some of these shots. I'm even able to 1v4 in a box. I've done it before. I don't think I can find the footage for this video, but I've done a few 1v4s, 1v3s, where it's just me absolutely locking on the players because of how broken aim assist is. But yeah, that's just kind of explaining that side of it. Now, going into the meat of the, the other side of aim assist where controller players are going to complain and stuff like that. Honestly, going off of that feedback isn't really all that great because a lot of controller players are really biased. A lot of controller players would love to just keep it, kind of leading back into the skill gap thing. I just for one am kind of tired of how broken it is, because even though I have it myself, having it used against me is absolutely ridiculous, and it really shouldn't be a thing. So that's kind of my suggestions for aim assist. Let's go ahead and head into the next topic. Alrighty, so heading a little bit away from competitive and now into the content creator side of things. So I know that some people have asked before, but honestly, adding a creator code would be a great move for this game. I honestly think it would bring in more creators specifically, and creators are a very well-known source in the YouTube and Twitch and pretty much any online community to bring activity to a game and stuff like that. A lot of people love to look up to creators. A lot of people like to follow what creators do. A lot of people, just want to kind of be the creators that they watch in general. So just bringing that activity into the game where creators are more focused and actually more willing to actually content create for the game, because they can actually earn off of the game itself, could really help the game out in activity and stuff like that. And not only that, but creators will also post in their discords to their communities. So even if it's creators coming out of the game and they have like a large community, they can honestly bring a lot of people into the game and stuff like that. Now, talking about the creator code more specifically, like the requirements. Now, I don't have a single set of requirements I personally would put up myself, but also I do think that the starting of a creator code program should start with a closed list. It should only be some of the top current creators, or even a few creators you guys invite back that were top back in the day, to see if maybe they're interested in participating in it. But just bringing those creators, those top creators specifically, to help promote the product itself, and maybe even gain more interest from other creators trying to, earn the chance to get into that creator code program, could be really great for the game. Once again, it just brings a lot of promotion from all these creators and stuff like that into the game. And they're constantly making videos, trying to grind, having more incentives to grind in general. Now, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could legit be like a 5 or 2% split. I know that sounds really greedy, but I think just testing it is something like that, or even just offering like, let's say like somebody makes let's say 20 purchases using the creator code or something like that. You can give the creators like a pickaxe or a certain amount of gems. It doesn't even have to be cash specifically, but just testing something out in general, just to increase it over time, or to make it better over time, or even just saying, hey, it didn't really work out, on our end, it's just too difficult to run or something like that. At least just showing that you're willing to try would be absolutely great. I understand that the game needs to make a profit itself, but like I said, adding in-game currency as like something that you can get paid out for could be something that's completely free out of you guys' own pockets. Creators already dump money into the game for the battle passes and stuff, so you don't necessarily have to offer them a battle pass or anything like that. But kind of, going into that, it should still be a closed list, like I said earlier. So that way you don't have random creators that are promoting like hacks, or creators that are promoting like certain things that shouldn't be promoted, or creators that need to be verified in general. You should definitely be the focus of that creator program, especially for creators that have been here for a long time and stuff like that. But anyways, that kind of concludes it for the creator code part of it. Let's go ahead and head into the next topic. Alrighty, so I kind of want to finish the video off with talking about content creator promo. So this one's kind of a long shot, that's why it's towards the end of the video. But long story short, there should be some type of way for you to discover creators within the game itself, whether it's only on the browser version or it's on all platforms or something like that. You should have a discovery page where you can have like YouTube creators, like for videos specifically, be discovered, where like it features the top YouTube's top viewed videos, or like currently top viewed or recently top viewed, stuff like that. Or just having a Twitch page or a YouTube page, or for live streaming specifically, where it shows the top creators who are currently live and has links to their channels. Like I said, this kind of leads back into the content creator side of things. More incentives for creators to, kind of grind the game out, and having them, stream for longer time so they can get more discovery. And the more that they get discovered, the more likely that they will stick to the game and that they won't leave the game. And like I said, it's just free promotion, and it helps you guys money wise because it brings a lot more players into the game. I know there's a lot of kids who would love to come play the game when it came to watching their creators or playing with their creators or something like that. And it also could help the creators run competitive events as well. Now, if a creator is posting hacks and stuff like that, most definitely there should be some type of filter system to keep those guys out, or some type of moderation, or someone from your moderation team can look in there and be like, hey, this link specifically from this creator should be banned because they're just promoting hacks and stuff like that. So something like that could work. Or maybe even just verified creators themselves can have their links posted up in there once they go live. I wouldn't say all the time because that's just free in-game promotion. I'm pretty sure you guys can't do that. So just having the discovery page in general would be absolutely great. I think it would help creators a lot more. Games like Kirka.io have it on their site to where you can discover currently live streamers and creators and stuff like that. So it definitely does work because it does bring in a few players and stuff like that to go into people's streams and to keep up with the game, especially for a game like Kirka. Has a decent player count, at least compared to a lot of other, off-brand games or .io games and stuff like that. But anyways, that's pretty much going to conclude it for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any more suggestions for me you guys want me to suggest, I don't think as developers going to see this video, but I really hope that they do so they can take this into consideration. Or maybe even someone high up in Discord moderation who can maybe bring the message to them. Maybe someone can see the video and maybe suggest some changes. Anyways guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to drop your own suggestions in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.